There's a saying that goes, more money, more problems. People see the rich and assume they do not have any problems, and even if they did, they have enough money to solve their problems. It's simple math. The more you earn, the more you spend. Well, yeah, they may have enough money to solve their problems, but I'm here to tell you that there are problems rich people have that the average man cannot afford to have. For starters, I don't think an average man can afford a yacht, much less a yacht sinking. It's crazy for anyone. Well, their problems are more than sinking yachts, believe it or not. Today, we're going to share with you a list of problems only rich people have. But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on post notifications on this channel. First on our list, people have car accidents almost every day around the world. But smashing your Toyota Camry into a wall is way different from smashing a Bugatti into a wall. For those of you who don't know, the Bugatti Veyron is more than just a simple car. It is one of the fastest cars in the world, and it's incredibly expensive with a price tag of roughly $2.25 million. The Bugatti Veyron is a vehicle many people will never lay eyes on or let alone get to ride in one, and for our own sakes, crash into one with our minivans. In a video that surfaced online, we could see a man crash the Bugatti Veyron. The man who crashed the car was a rich Texan named Andy Lee, who bought the car for $1 million. Andy Lee took out a $2.2 million insurance policy on it and drove the car into the lake and claimed that a pelican had caused the accident. Now he faces up to 20 years in prison for insurance fraud. Life lessons: don't blame pelicans for your problem. Next up, growing wealthy takes a lot of sacrifices, losing people, making harsh but necessary decisions, and many more sacrifices. However, it's way easier than that for some people. People become wealthy by winning the lottery or inheriting assets. If you achieved your wealth through lots of hard work, there's a good chance that you sacrifice a lot along the way. You may have worked long hours at your job or even worked 2 jobs, so you might have missed birthday parties, chances to take vacations, and more. You may not have developed close relationships with family members and friends because of your sacrifices and long working hours. Those are all meaningful losses. It may not seem like much of a problem to an average person, but quality time with the people you love and being a part of their lives is something nobody wants to miss out on. Up next, most people want to be wealthy not just for themselves, but also so their children won't grow up poor. But here's the thing, when you work hard to earn your money, you develop a mindset of hard work and belief. This means when people don't work hard around you, you don't see a reason for them to earn things. Most rich kids out there have difficulties working hard and earning for themselves because they have had basically everything handed to them. This is an actual problem that rich people go through, having spoiled and entitled children. I mean, just look around. This might not seem like a bad thing, but if you're raising your children in luxury, they'll never have to struggle to achieve things and to build a life for themselves. They may also find it hard to make friends who aren't interested in their wealth. Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest people, has made a point of not giving his children too much of his money. He said that he aimed to give his kids enough money so that they would feel they could do anything, but not so much that they could do nothing. Bill and Melinda Gates have said that they're leaving their children a minuscule portion of their billions, explaining that it'll mean they'll have to find their own way. Next up, not everyone wants a private life, but the flashing lights and paparazzi rumors could be really frustrating. When you're rich, you automatically have your private life made public. Take celebrities, for example. There's always one new piece of gossip about them every day. With wealth and fame comes increased public scrutiny, the realization, or lack thereof, that you're living under a microscope. When you have a lot of money and influence, people look at you differently and dissect your every move. Protecting your privacy can be hard, and it becomes a lot harder to get away with just about anything. We're constantly hearing about and subsequently becoming outraged over the indiscretions of the rich. There are so many celebrities you can take examples from. Let's look at Tiger Woods, for instance. After an auto accident, it had been revealed that he had been involved in extramarital affairs. Another example is former Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling, who was caught on tape saying some downright questionable things. Both of these incidents gripped the public's attention for weeks, whereas had they happened to an average person, few people outside of their own social networks would have taken pause. Next up, this may not be an only rich people problem because we all care about our safety, but someone with over $1 million to their name is more likely to get kidnapped than a person with only $10,000. A wealthy Harris on Forbes' richest people in America list said she worries constantly for the safety of her children because they are a target for kidnappers. Although there are several high-profile kidnapping cases among the ultra-wealthy, including the abduction of software tycoon Eugene Kaspersky's son Ivan, actual kidnappings are rare in the US. In fact, according to FBI figures, there were only 332 abductions of children by a stranger in 2014. However, that's not to say that there aren't risks. Experts who provide security to the wealthy said that children's Facebook accounts can be one of the biggest security leaks for a well-off family, according to Financial Advisor magazine. Even a heavy security detail can be undermined if a child is posting vacation pictures and personal information online. Criminals can find find that information and use it to target the family. Up next, if you get into a public fight and damage something, chances are you can settle your issues with the people without involving the authorities, but the case is different for the rich. Once a millionaire gets in trouble with someone, the next thing on their doorstep is a court summons and a lawsuit filing for millions of dollars from the average person. Where there's money, there are lawyers and dishonest plaintiffs willing to take it. The one thing that really surprised me was with wealth came lawsuits, said Brian Clayton, CEO of lawn care service platform GreenPal and an entrepreneur who has built his business to 8 figures. It's not fun when once a month a stranger pops out of the bushes to say you have been served. Less than 20% of people with a $1 million net worth worry about being sued, whereas 80% of those with more than $20 million net worth have the same fear. The rich dread lawsuits. In fact, Mark Cuban, famous entrepreneur and Shark Tank regular, has reportedly said on the show that he'll refuse investments if there's even a small risk of him getting sued. Well, up next, everything is a problem for the rich. They worry about everything not because they choose to, but mostly because their money is linked to virtually every sector in several countries across the globe. Falling real estate prices, Federal Reserve and interest rates, stock fluctuations, global currencies, everything. It can all affect your wealth. Although you might not worry about true poverty, you might not always feel like you're one stock market crash away from wearing rags. For the average man, it is just a normal economic crisis that the whole country will move on from. But for the rich man, it's heartaches and sleepless nights. Next up, the world has set a standard for rich people on what they can and can't do, and how they are to behave. Take the royals as an example. There are over 100 rules that they have to abide by, ways they shouldn't act in public, things they can't say, and all that. But if there's something we've learned from fairy tales and princess stories, is that people born into royalty are just as human as we are, and many times they crave to have a normal life, to be able to live their lives freely as the average man does. Now, you may not want to understand why this is a problem. The truth is, living your life by having tradition and rule books guiding your every step could be somewhat suffocating and may feel like bondage. Rich people will certainly appreciate a little bit of freedom. Up next, did you know a person's wealth can basically hide every other thing about the person, and not in a good way at that? When you're rich, people can focus more on your wealth than your other traits, and that wealth tends to become your most defining characteristic. Abigail Disney, the granddaughter of Roy Disney, who co-founded the Walt Disney Company, has related her own experience as a rich person. People do say to me straight up, "Oh my god, you must be filthy rich." And every interaction, you don't get to make a first impression because they're already thinking about what they want to think about you before you even shake their hand. It's said that money isn't important unless you don't have it. But what remains true above all is that money can ease some worries, but others will always remain. That is a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you stick around for more exciting content on this channel. Catch you in the next one.